Welcome, everyone, to the Minions of the Zoo Tuesday edition here on the Skep Tock channel. Thank you, Susan. And with me this evening, I have Minions Adam.
Hello.
Of Clan Veggie and the Harry channel.
Good evening.
It's so nice to be hanging with you, gentlemen, this evening here on the newly reactivated Skep Tock channel that never posts any videos except when Minions gets in trouble. I hope you're both well tonight. How was your day, Adam?
Was all right. Picking up the pieces after a crazy storm last night where I had, no power pretty much the entire evening. And it looked like if you looked at the weather radar, whatever it's called, it looks like a storm just formed right over Schaumburg and headed straight for the city. It was weird. But
I'm surprised the storms are not afraid of your mayor.
Oh, what? Oh, shit.
I'm surprised. Yeah, if I were a thunderstorm and the other thunderstorms were saying, "Hey, let's go over to Chicago," I'd be saying no.
Well, I mean,
I don't want a piece of that.
You could also look at it as like, maybe this was a sign of, hey, knock this shit off, and here's a tornado.
If I'm a tornado, am I going to smash that? No, I'm not going to smash that.
It's just a warning. It's hey.
I would just be a funnel cloud and just skip over the city and say,
yep. There was a lot of videos of the sirens going off in the city. Yeah. Which honestly, I've never seen it. So but then again, I grew up, I'm an older gent, so, I don't think I would have seen too many videos of tornado sirens going off in the city. But that's how
they do happen. There are some pictures of some great water spouts out on Lake Michigan.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't doubt it.
So anyway, Harry, what have you been up to, man? How was your day?
Well, let's see. I've got tons of work to do, which is good. I got a faucet replaced today. I put an old school faucet in, which is a Dishmaster. It's like a 1950 style faucet, which weirdly they still make. They still make these damn things, so it's not even new old stock. It's like a brand new Dishmaster. And nice. Unlike the one that was there before that started to leak with the single arm thing on it, it was starting to leak, and I'm like, I don't feel like rebuilding this piece of crap. It's because it's just a weird contraption, those things with the mixer valve and the one lever. So I'm just like, no, I'm going to just replace it. And I was searching around, and then I thought, maybe I can find a new old stock of what was in here like 50 years ago. And then I came to realize, wait a second, they actually still make these damn things. It's like, and now it just feels right.
Well, do they make the old style? Do they still make the old style? Because I'm looking at the Dishmaster website right now.
Yep.
Faucets, brushes, and accessories, parts, conversions, gift cards, gallery, and repair center.
Yeah.
They even
sell. A little late to send me a gift card because I already bought it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they still make these things, and it's just I'm trying to make my house into a better version of what it was when it was new. Looking at the paint in the kitchen, I can see that originally the walls in the kitchen were Kermit the Frog green. Now, as devoted as I am to this project, there's no freaking way I'm going to make those walls Kermit the Frog green. However, I found a linoleum product that is roughly like kind of that greenish color, a little light, that would look great on the floor. So if I keep the color palette, just kind of like rotate everything about 90 degrees. So make the wall color the floor color, and then just muck with it.
Now, is this the old linoleum that leached benzene, or is this new perfected linoleum?
When did old linoleum leach benzene? Because you're telling me that linseed oil leached benzene?
It wasn't.
Because linoleum's okay. I can tell you this for sure.
It was an impurity. The story was that it was an impurity. It wasn't all linoleum, but it was.
Oh, okay. The good linoleum's the stuff with the asbestos in it. That stuff, you drop your cigarette on it.
Yeah.
You're drinking a beer while you're smoking and carrying the baby around, and then you drop your cigarette, and it doesn't cause any damage.
Yeah, it doesn't destroy your house and kill your family. Yeah,
so just like one piece at a time. One little piece at a time. It's just weird, the way houses work. Like, I'm looking at the cabinets, and I could get all new cabinets, but the hinges that I have are really bizarre because, like, even though my house was built, 20 years later, the hinges were clearly left over from some other things. So the hinges on the cabinets are like this Art Deco copper thing. I wouldn't touch these things for all the money in the world. They're absolutely fantastic, and they just don't fit the house at all, but they look awesome. It's like, do you want copper Art Deco hinges? Yeah, of course I do. Is this a stupid question?
You wouldn't.
Yeah, of course. So I'm going to keep the copper. I'm going to make the wood darker. I'm going to make the floor green, and it'll all be fine once it's eventually done. But that's going to take a long time. Now that I've fixed the kitchen faucet, the next big project is getting rid of the shitty old water heater that's like ready to pretty much turn into Vesuvius at any moment. I mean, this thing is so far gone. Why it hasn't just cracked open and leaked all over the garage, I have no idea. I don't know how this thing is doing it. I went to get the sediment out one time, and I realized that the stopcock thing up for the sediment drain is just not functioning. And I'm like, if I touch this, I'm going to break it. Right. If I try to force this to do if I try to do the right thing, it's going to break. So I'm just going to walk away slowly. I'm not going to do anything and just keep a number of a plumber in my back pocket in case I have to have an emergency repair done. But there's like these insane incentives you can get now to get rid of a gas water heater. They will pay you in California, if you do it right, up to $6,100 to swap out your gas water heater for a hybrid electric. No, hybrid electric. The hybrid electrics are actually kind of amazing. I don't want to destroy your channel here, but
no.
Essentially, it's like a little heat pump, kind of like in a refrigerator, but it basically spits out cold air, and it heats the water in the tank, and it's between 3 and 4 times more efficient than just using resistive heat. Turns out heat pumps are actually a solution to a lot of different problems. And air-to-air heat pumps have gotten so good that you can heat and cool your whole house with these things now. It used to be that you need a ground loop, but they've actually got them engineered to the point where even in places like Chicago, you can use these things, and you might end up using like a backup resistive thing, I don't know, a week or 2 out of the year, but overall it saves a ton of money. Man, heat pumps are totally going to be the future. It doesn't matter who's going to be president or whatever. People like not spending money on utilities. And heat pumps are massively more efficient than gas or electric.
They are now.
I mean, electric resistive.
The early ones were a mess.
Yeah, these are much better. So, just making things better one project at a time. The plumber left. I picked up the phone and started calling about rebates because I'm very linear. It's like I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to get it done, and then I'm going to move on to the next thing. So the next thing is new water heater.
That's how accomplishment happens.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of things and you spend your energy, you'll fool yourself. You tell yourself, man, I made progress on 5 different projects today. No, you didn't. You frittered away a day and probably didn't make much progress on any of them. And you could have made, I'm with you. I tend to concentrate on one thing at a time.
I have a question for Adam.
Okay.
So, Adam, you were talking about the mare and the storm, right? It looks to me like she's already been hit by lightning a couple times. I mean, is it my imagination? She looks like a lightning survivor, like a multiple lightning survivor. She's looking pretty terrifying. And also, when you said smash in conjunction with that image of her, I was thinking, do you mean smash as in get busy with? Or
right.
Yeah, no. I
meant the pun. Yes,
okay, I don't think the storm wants to smash Lori Lightfoot. I don't see a line of thunderstorms or people or anything else lining up to want a piece of that.
Yeah, it's so weird because her father was this mellow folk singer, and from Canada,
Hmm.
and she just fell very far from that tree. She's a crazy lady. I just
Yeah.
assume with the same last name, she has to be Gordon Lightfoot's kid.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, they look alike, especially now because Gordon's 80.
Yeah.
And she's looking like she's 80. She's looking like that job is beating the shit out of her. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. I almost went to
Like-
a Gordon Lightfoot concert one time.
Did you?
No, I didn't want to go, but I was supposed to go. A group of friends was trying to drag me off to this Gordon Lightfoot concert, and didn't want to go, because it goes back to 6th grade camp, right? Okay, I don't like being told what to do, but I'm not going to be a
Right.
complete dick to my friends. It's a loophole. So
Gotcha.
so we end up driving up to the gate of the place where the Gordon Lightfoot concert was going to be, which was the Paul Masson Mountain Winery concert venue thing in Saratoga in the Hills. Great venue, by the way.
Saratoga, New York, or Saratoga, California?
Oh, Saratoga, California.
Okay,
So basically, you drive up into the Santa Cruz Mountains, and there's this little winery there, and it's been turned into a concert venue. It was Paul Masson originally and got sold. So the first time I went there was to see Mel Torme and George Shearing, and it was like a
That's what I'm talking
100-something-year-old day, 100-something degree day.
Right.
And I think I've talked previously about how Mel Torme wasn't necessarily the nicest person. George Shearing was out there under the blind guy, the old
Velvet
blind
Fog.
guy was out there signing CDs during the intermission, and they'd give you a free glass of Paul Masson Emerald Dry. Mel Torme was fucking off in his trailer or something. He'd have none of it. He was not going to go hang out in the heat, but leave the old blind English guy out there to sign CDs. Anyway, so show up at the gate, and it turned out just that day that they all went on strike, and the concert was called off. And I had to do my best acting to pretend that I was disappointed. And after about 30 seconds of that, they said, "We all know you didn't want to go anay, so stop it. Stop pretending that you're upset."
Man,
I'm not a good actor.
I would love to go see. Love to have gone to see Gordon Lightfoot. He is one of my guitar heroes.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote some beautiful guitar music. You kind of have to like Canadian modern folk singing to like his style, to like the type of stuff that he does. But the guitar work, and he's had some amazing guitarists working for him. One in particular for a long time, guitarist whose name escapes me. Was just a brilliant addition to him, and I've seen him perform on TV many times. The thing about Gordon Lightfoot, though, when you go to a Gordon Lightfoot concert, and I've seen enough of them on TV to know this, and read enough about him, all you get is the songs. Gordon Lightfoot gets up there, he says, "We're going to sing Canadian Railroad Trilogy. Here we go. And a 1, and a 2. And he sings the song. That's it. All right. Now we're going to sing Sundown. 1 and a 2 and a 3. And, he's doesn't really, he connects with the crowd. I mean, he says, we're really happy to be here. Okay. Now we're going to do this other song. And a 1 and a 2. I mean, he really does not talk much with the crowd.
But you know who can work a crowd? Back to Mel Torme.
Yes.
He talks at the intro back when he was doing this concert too. I think it was Nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. He's talking about this being one of the best exports to come across the pond from England.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about how they love the English and how George Shearing is English, and he's saying but if you'll excuse the 10-year period where I was married to an English woman, but let's not get morose, ladies and gentlemen. So it's just, he's telling his little story, and the crowd's kind of digging it, and they're all relating to it, and it's just good fun. I do remember that Mel Torme concert, though. That was with George Shearing. That was a really great thing. They had an outstanding bass player, but I've seen a bunch of good concerts at the Mountain Winery back in the day. I saw Lyle Lovett there. I saw Manhattan Transfer there. And that was actually a lot of fun in a smaller venue like that. And by smaller, I mean not Shoreline Amphitheater.
Right. I know exactly.
So that was a great thing. But man, Lyle Lovett with his large band in a venue like in an open air venue like that in the evening with the sun starting to go down, and you kind of get the dusk, and he's doing all of his large band things with those gospel singer backup people. Oh, that was so good. Easily one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
Was Francine Reed there?
I think so.
Yeah, she's the.
I thought about that name for a while.
Always sings with Lyle Lovett, and yeah, I'm sure he did church and if I had a boat and all that stuff. I love Lyle Lovett.
All that Central Texas talk singy stuff.
That's right.
I mean, you can listen to Lyle.
Texas.
You can listen to Lyle, or you can listen to Robert Earl Keen Jr. It's that kind of stuff where you're talking about steaming greasy plates of enchiladas and stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, I don't have a real appetite for folk music. I really don't. I pick and choose. See, I don't play the banjo like you do. I pick and choose which stuff I like because I'm mostly a classical first, jazz second, prog rock third kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, folk is like way, way down. So to my mind, there's not a lot of Nancy Griffith I can deal with. It's very small doses.
Well,
but you start talking Alison Krauss and Union Station, the combination of those things I like quite a bit.
Alison Krauss is an amazingly talented woman.
She is. And Union Station, they're amazingly talented. And the combination of her voice and of her kind of squeaky voice, and which is beautiful, but kind of high and up there. You need the counterpoint of the deep voiced guys. But there's some fine banjo playing in there. I would think you would probably like Union Station quite a bit.
I've listened to a lot of Union Station. Yes, that have very competent personnel, more than competent, excellent professional, studio grade musicians.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a great music scene where Adam is.
Adam, what's the best concert you've ever been to in Chicago? What's your favorite one?
Favorite one was Flogging Molly.
Really?
Yeah.
I love those guys. Those are fun. That's a fun band. That's a great Irish bar band.
The best part I would say is it's a lot of, and I hate to say it because I did see, I did have the good opportunity to see Toots and the Mai Tais and Sublime with Rome. Fucking saw Blink-182 at Warped Tour. My bands were a little different than yours, but no.
So you admit you like Blink?
Wait, what?
You like Blink-182?
Well, I saw them at Warp.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think?
Wait, what's that?
Were they good?
They were all right. I would say a bigger disappointment was seeing Green Day, and it was around, I think they had it was the American Idiot tour or something like that.
And that was when they went off the rails for me.
Yeah.
American Idiot was a dumb album. I'm sorry, it's not a magnum opus. They had already done their best stuff, I thought.
No, that's when they pretty much fucking went off the deep end. Yeah. And I sat there and I'm like, hey, play this song. And they're like, they looked at me like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, dude. Well, I guess we know where you're at. So, but no,
well, nobody's asking me what my favorite concert that I ever went to was, but I'll tell you anyway. It's close. but probably, and I'm going to accept the uh, seeing John Prine, but I loved him in concert. He was wonderful. Uh, but my favorite concert was Homecoming at Northwestern, and I think it was 1973. We had Mountain come and play, and after the after the after they finished playing, the band came said, "Come on down and hang with us." And we all went down to the floor and up on stage with the band, with Leslie West and Felix Pappalardi, and just hung with them. I actually heard Leslie West was telling a dirty joke, and I heard all I heard of it was the punchline. The punchline was, "Oh, it's a mouthwash that doubles as a douche." And it's funny what you remember. You know, people ask me, "What'd you get out of Northwestern?" It was, well, I got that. That was an awesome cultural experience. Just how friendly that band was, how cool they were. They were just awesome guys. We were absolutely starstruck too. Little junior in college.
It would be hard for me to talk about what the best concert I've ever been to was, because there's so many different kinds.
Well, that was my favorite one in college in the Chicago area. I was just relating it back to Adam being in Chicago. That would probably be in my top 10 concerts, but it would not be in the top 5.
So you've probably been to all of the theaters out here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Well,
hey Johnny.
There's Johnny in the chat. I think in terms of concerts, like I said, I sort of separate them out by size, right? So some of the best concerts I saw were fewer than just a few hundred people. You know, it was never like a large number. And once you get to the amphitheater size, it gets to be pretty sterile.
Yo, okay.
I really can't get into it. I know that there are rock bands that can put on a hell of a show. Like if I was into Kiss, it would be a hell of a show. I mean, they do a lot of stuff.
Floyd and Kiss, that's all.
But but for me, I like that Susan Tedeschi concert I went to where it was like 200 people crammed in a house. That was so good. And I got to see Diana Krall right after she came out with her Nat King Cole tribute, the one that she got a Grammy for. Also, and that was an amazing concert. I was seated front row right next to the piano. I was 15 feet from her, and she went to take a break during one of the sets, and I felt that nature was calling because they serve really good beer at this place, the Coamba Jazz Center in Santa Cruz. And I had to go to the bathroom, so I thought I'm going to go because she's taking a break. Now's the time to go. So I get up really quickly and go tearing around this corner, and I bump right into her. And she's like trying to figure out where the bathrooms are. That's how small this jazz club was, because I basically ran into Diana Krall and basically helped her find the facilities and told people to bug her off when they were trying to get in there.
Excellent.
I always try to be useful. I don't know why but people always think I work wherever I go someplace. People think I work there, which is I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I guess it depends on where I am.
Wait, I think you're like a server or something,
or like I was at Fry's Electronics.
That's not good.
It seemed like I could go to Fry's and people would always think that I worked there. Like, do you work there? And I said, no, but I'll tell you what you need.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, just go over there and buy that. It's fine. Yeah. Just do that. But I looked like the kind of person that
reflash the BIOS.
Yeah, well, I looked like the kind of person that's probably got a job, so they figure we should just ask this guy.
They shouldn't think that. That's ridiculous.
So, Adam, do you remember Pokemon Go? Do you remember Pokemon Go? I was working late at a customer's, and this was in the middle of the Pokemon Go thing. And I go downstairs, and these kids were like, "Hey, there looks like there's a pokey spot on the other side of this building. Do you mind if we go through the lobby?" And I just said,
What?
no, you can't go through the lobby of this security controlled building because you don't feel like walking around it. Sorry. I just said, I know I look like the man, but these aren't rules that I made up. And this guy looks at me and goes, "Man, you do look like the man." Which
Wait.
I think I took that as a compliment. I'm glad I look like the man.
Well, I mean, if the man in my head looks like a MIB agent, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Just some kind of douchey white guy with a white shirt telling people they can't go through the lobby. "You suck. You're the man." I do suck.
I was
What?
just replying to WR Costi said that Cheryl Crow concert, and I was saying the magic of Pete Stroud and Tim Smith, who I really think are the best hires that Cheryl Crow could have possibly ever made, particularly Pete Stroud, and that's why he's her musical director. Has been for years, or was for years. Anyway, Tim Smith plays more instruments than I can count. Really talented people in Cheryl's band. Amazing people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like me some Cheryl Crow. She sings a song. It's and there's this line. If it makes the name of the song is if it makes you happy, and the tagline is if it makes you happy, why the hell are you so sad? And that it was it's commentary on depression and what makes us happy and what makes us sad. So many things that we think will make us happy end up making us sad. Anyway, I like Cheryl Crow's voice. I like alto female singers. Suddenly, a Johnny Hellcat showed up. You there, John? If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Because, of course, my mic is not set up correctly.
There you go. But here you are.
How's it going?
Can't complain. What have you been up to today?
I had my gastroesophageal endoscopy today.
I love those. How was it?
Other than one of the doctor's assistants farting in the room, wasn't bad.
Okay.
And they didn't find anything, so the fun continues.
Damn. Well, the good news is one of the things they didn't find was an obvious lesion, with cancer. So yay, because
Yes.
that's one of the primo things they look for.
Yeah, no, they said they didn't find anything, so that's better than finding something worse than nothing.
Yeah. Did you remind them to take the lens cap off?
Oh, they made sure to show me that because I asked them if they were going to record it because if they were, I was going to ask for a copy.
Did they?
No, they were just going to take pictures.
Mm.
So I might request those. So you guys are talking about concerts.
Oh,
We are. What we're describing, great concerts we've been to, concerts we enjoyed. What kind of concerts have you been to that you enjoyed?
I took my boys to their first concert, I think it's a couple of years ago. My youngest, as far it was Flogging Molly, John Snodgrass, and Radkey. And it's the greatest and worst concert I've been to at the same time.
Yeah.
Partially because of my youngest son.
Yeah.
As we were walking into the show, my son decides he's going to take off. And so I'm like, oh, we can't go back that way. And I think he was maybe, goodness, he's still in elementary school. Fresh off of diabetes diagnosis. So, and he really likes the song "Float" by Flogging Molly. So I figured,
Yep.
They play that one all the time. I'm like, we'll see. We'll get him through the show. I know it's going to be crowded for him, but I had a set of wireless headphones that were noise canceling, so that when he goes in and it's too loud for him, at least he can turn it on, and it'll drown out some of the noise.
Yeah.
Being that he is autistic too, so it's going to be a huge culture shock for him.
Wow. Yeah,
And
no kidding.
he got in, headphones worked for him just fine. But they're kids, so they're once they hit a certain time, they're just like, I'm tired, I want to go to bed.
Oh, well, I know.
And Red Key was added at the last minute, so I didn't even know they were performing there until the day of the concert. But as we were walking up to the show, my youngest gets a bit of curiosity to him, runs up to a stranger who's at the back of the venue, and he's sitting there smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, no, we can't go back here. And I turn around and I'm like, that guy looks familiar, but I'm too busy. Like,
Who was it?
it was John Snodgrass.
Oh,
And like I'm trying to like herd my kids into the line so that we can get into the venue. And so we're sitting there, and I'm like, we were standing in line, and I'm like, I think that was John Snodgrass. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh well, whatever. And so the venue's about to start, and he's the opener. And he either doesn't know where he's going, or is just out of his mind for some reason. So he's walking along the line, and I think there's either a lot of people who just didn't recognize him at all. And I'm like, he has been walking past
Did he
us for
have
about,
his weird glasses on?
Yeah.
Wow.
He looked like him. How
Yeah.
could you not see him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I ask him if he wants to take a picture of this? But I don't want to I don't want to distract him from what he's supposed to be doing, because the show is starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I'm focused on the kid. I don't want to be have the kid in the middle of a diabetic episode, and then he's like, no, stand up, we got to get a picture taken. Make it, it doesn't look well. But so we get into the show. Yeah, he makes his way back into where he's supposed to go. We get into the show. The youngest is having a bit of a low. He's low, and he's staying low.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to get him up a little bit so that at least he can enjoy, the show at all. And we're sitting in kind of in the nosebleeds. Kids are enjoying John Snodgrass because they've heard him before, so they're dancing along to the music.
Yeah,
being kids.
Sure.
And then both kids are like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, all right. We'll wait till the end of the show. He he's like, all right, I'm done here. We're going to bring out the next group. I'm like, all right. Don't know who the next group is yet, but we have time to go to the bathroom, come back, and get our spots. And I'm not leaving, his insulin equipment there. So I'm packed up all of our stuff, and I've got it, taking it with us. The kids go to the bathroom, and on our way back, we find that our spots were taken. Because it's an open seat venue.
Right.
They don't have assigned seating.
Yep.
So a bunch of drunk jackasses moved into our spots. And so I'm trying to find new spots.
There's always a few of those there are always a few drunk jackasses at concerts, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find, spots for my kids to sit so that at least they can get, they can rest while they're between spots. And I find a couple open seats, and I'm like, okay, I know these spots are probably going to be taken, but, you guys can rest here for a little bit until either they come back, or we can move to a different spot. And I had the kids sit down. They're like, there's someone here. And I'm like, my kid's diabetic. He's low. He needs to rest for 5 minutes. You can wait. Like,
Yeah.
There's no assigned seat here. You know that. I know that. Shut the fuck up. And like, we'll be
Calm
out.
down.
We'll be out in a second. Well, you don't need that attitude. I'm like, apparently I do, because our spot over was up there and it was taken. And I'm not getting in a fight over, that's something that's stupid.
No.
And we make it through Radkey, and between Radkey and Flogging Molly, Rocky decides that he is extremely tired. And so we kind of just sit up against, we're on the floor against the wall, and he puts his head up against my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a girl that passes, and she's like, are you guys okay? And he just gets these big puppy dog eyes. And I'm like, no, we're fine. He goes, I'm really tired. And you could just see her heart melting right there.
Wow.
And I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, I fucking love you, kid.
Yeah. What a great moment. What an outstanding moment.
And then he gets us, and well, no. This is where it goes wrong. I would have agreed with you until he's like,
you went there.
Dad, I need to fart. And I just go, I hate you so much right now. Because she is just immediately like, no, I'm not hanging around this. This.
Yeah, lost the mood.
It would have been perfect if he had just said nothing. Just nothing from there on. Just you had her in the palm of your hands right there, and then you just gone.
Gotcha.
In a moment. And I'm like, well, that was fun while it lasted.
By the way, I enlarged Harry's meme that he put up there because I'm just loving it so much. And you want to explain that to the class, Harry?
Well, it's just showing that we think that all these things are new, but almost everything has been done before, including the distracted boyfriend meme. So here's 1922 Charlie Chaplin doing the distracted boyfriend meme. Because really, there is nothing new under the sun when it comes to people.
No, definitely. And, guy looking at pretty girl, the pretty girl he's with being jealous. Yeah, that's his
that woman he's with is not pretty. She's a bit of a battle axe, I think, honestly. And the one walking by is decidedly cuter.
Yeah.
Now, let's just say that his current girlfriend in this picture is a sturdy woman.
Yeah, she's good breeding stock, like peasant stock.
Wide hip, good birthing hips.
Exactly, from the steps.
Yeah, I think the first thing she said to him when they met was, "I've got strong white teeth."
And just warn.
But
from
I've got strong
grazing.
white teeth.
Just whispers, no cavities.
Yeah, and imagine she likes things a particular way, judging by the look on her face. She's
Mm-hmm.
used to specifying how life will be lived, down to
Yeah, she's
the most
looking at
minute
Charlie.
detail.
She's looking at Charlie like a fixer-up project.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's a hardcore.
It's not the best material, but I can work with this. I can make this into something.
It's about to be a hardcore Fenton Mud moment.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Charlie.
love this. I do like that.
I understand his affinity for Switzerland. I like Switzerland too. You have to have a shitload of money to live there.
Anymore, you need a shitload of money to live anywhere.
You know, you're not wrong. I have to tell you this. My stepdaughter was driving back from Oregon. Well, actually driving back from Vancouver in Canada to Texas. And they were in coming down the West Coast. We have a bunch of our relatives live in Eugene, Oregon, and thereabouts. They stopped in some. They were just too tired to go on, and so before they hit Eugene, they stopped for a night in a hotel, just because they were tired and dirty and needed a place to stay. And for the two of them, and this was a Motel 6. It was $300 a night. I shit you not.
Not much of a Motel 6, is it?
Is that recent?
No. Yeah, that was night before last. So
Holy shit!
it wasn't yesterday, but it was the day before yesterday. Yeah, pretty recent.
It's like going to the dollar store and finding a price for $120.
It absolutely blew my mind. I didn't believe it. I went online and started verifying prices. Man, you can't find a motel around there, for less than $200. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. So I thought, is that phenomenon down in Texas too? So I've got a trip coming up where I'm going to be driving up through Amarillo and on up into Colorado. And I checked the Motel 6 in Amarillo, Texas. It's $55 a night. So from this, we may conclude that Texas is better than Oregon.
Well,
at least in terms of Motel 6 rates.
The stars at night are indeed bigger and brighter. I know. You know.
Yeah.
There you go.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. When I'm dead and gone, you'll have that to comfort yourselves with.
I think you should get your banjo out next time you decide you're going to do that. Just Skep Talk's banjo stream.
What a good idea that
Why
is.
not? I mean,
Skep
seriously.
Banjo stream.
Okay, if you go to have a show and nobody shows up for some reason, we're all busy, or we just miss the memo and we don't show up, and you're by yourself, you should just grab your banjo and start playing until you get tired of playing, and then just take it. Stream's over.
That could be a long stream. I can play a lot of different stuff on that banjo.
I thought we were going to do the thing. We had planned it, or we talked about planning it. Doing dueling banjos.
Whoa!
Because I learned how to do the intro on the ukulele.
Very, very good. Sounds promising.
You might accidentally make your channel a great success if you keep this up.
You never know. Hey, hold on. I'll be right back. I need to step out for just 1 second.
Okay.
No worries. I think we'll be able to carry the show.
You mean given that every one of us is a host, I think we can probably cope with 4 hosts on now 3.
Too many hosts. Too many.
Too many.
Oh no!
Adult Swim. I remember when Adult Swim used to be funny.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Adult Swim in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, back when I was a night shift regular, it was kind of different that, it was right there rather than going out of my way to actually watch it.
Well, when I was younger and Beavis and Butthead was first run, I remember thinking, this is the dumbest thing. I'm not going to have anything to do. I'm not watching this. This is stupid. This is a show that stupid people watch. I'm not watching this. This is dumb because it will make me dumber by watching it.
Well,
Fast forward about, I don't know, 15 years. And suddenly, I'm kind of like a grown-ass adult in his 30s. And I start watching it by accident because I fell asleep in front of the TV and I woke up. Beavis and Butthead's on. And I'm like, God damn it. What was I doing all this time? This show's actually awesome. This show's amazing. It's not a stupid show for stupid people. It's a smart show that makes fun of stupid people. This is a great show. I really, really enjoy Beavis and Butthead way more than I probably should. Actually, I like almost everything Mike Judge has ever made. A lot of his
Mike
stuff
Judge
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially Office Space.
Office Space was outstanding. I can't remember, was he Idiocracy too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How spot on was he?
Well, he was pretty spot on with the Walmart greeter thing. But I like in Idiocracy, the chair that's like a recliner Barcalounger thing with a built-in toilet.
Yeah.
So you can just watch TV without ever getting up.
That's what a banjo sounds like.
Yay!
Oh.
Nice.
Very nice, sir.
Oh, man.
I just knocked all the shit off my shelf.
Are you looking for your ukulele?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I don't even know if it's in tune.
I like how as when we started this little adventure for the show, Skep Tock, you said that this was going to be a sausage fest, but you know what? This sausage fest now has a banjo and maybe a ukulele. So I don't know.
I'm glad that swerved at the last minute.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't know where I was going with this.
Wait a second. I'm not comfortable where this is going here all of a sudden. And then the ukulele came at the last minute. Whew. Man,
it's one of those things where you're gonna look back at those words and be like, maybe he had something there, or maybe he didn't. But there was a banjo and a ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't all wrong.
Well, ukulele's not confirmed yet.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's here. It's just out of tune.
Oh, okay.
As long as you don't go tiptoeing through the. Oh no!
But it's confirmed. When I wanted people to go home, again when I was a kid, I would put Don Ho on the stereo, and that was usually a signal that it was time to leave. And if Don Ho didn't get rid of them, there was always John Denver. That was usually very effective for getting people to leave.
So I was fixing my fence earlier today, and I had a bunch of screws in my pocket, and they kept poking me. And then one of them had gone halfway through the pocket. Anyway, it was a drama. I had to do something about that.
That's how you get holes in your pocket, Skep.
I've got
the
holes in my
screws in my life.
Mowed the lawn today. Fixed the fence. Installed a WEDS surveillance camera. I'm going to buy 2 more, possibly 3 more, and just modernized I had one old camera that, all it did was send video to the computer. That's all it did. And this WEDS application is really worth having. It's pretty cool. I can look at my phone and see what's happening at my front door, regardless of where I am. That's excellent. Gotta get some more of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've got several cameras set up. It's pretty handy. It's like, do I need to get home because some idiot put a package in the wrong place? Yes, I do.
yeah, exactly. Now I have the ability to, porch pirate comes up, they're going to hear, you want to keep that hand? Get it away from that package. And then they'll hear the slide of my clock ramming home.
Oh, wait, is this an Assassin of the Gray meme that we're showing? He's saying, when do I get credit for the meme I made? Is this one of yours?
Oh.
Oh,
because you can have credit. I'm more than happy to give you credit if it's yours.
I don't even know who's supposed. What? Wait, what?
I just saw Assassin's comment.
I steal memes from
Bubbles
everywhere.
kittens.
Yeah, I steal memes from everywhere. I can't keep track of all the different places I've stolen memes from, my friend.
Yes.
Well, okay. Congratulations.
Well, I doubt thieves tend to try and indulge themselves in the histories of the person they're stealing from. The victim, yes, victim is the word I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, go ahead. Meme thief.
Yep. Just add that to my resume. Meme thief.
I can just see you hanging out in a fucking
who is not a meme
alley.
thief?
I'm sorry.
Who is not a meme thief?
Oh, everybody's a meme thief. That's
I consider it promoting the author's work. It's like free advertising. They should be grateful that I steal their memes.
Well, I mean,
serotonin needs.
I was gonna go for like painting a Disney-esque picture of meme thief, and he's just hanging out in the streets, trying to find a bread, maybe an apple, and in a meme, and he's trying to get by. And that's all he's doing. And he also has a very nice singing voice. So let's put that out there. It's a Disney movie. But yeah, meme thief.
Yeah, that's me.
There's a trailer. That's me.
That's me.
So, anyway, saying hello to people in chat. Joel McLaughlin's there, and Assassin of the Gray is there, as is Costin. Nice to see you guys. Hope you're having a good evening.
Oh shit!
And
yes.
Your Photoshop foo is unparalleled, Assassin. It is excellent, most excellent, in my opinion.
I forget. We're still booted out of the.
Hi, Keeverdam. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
No, we're still booted out of the YouTube. So
we are. We are totally booted out. I even tried to initiate the stream just to see if it kicked me out, and you get this really polite message from StreamYard. It appears that YouTube has shut you down.
Damn.
Would you like to stream somewhere else?
I mean, I guess in a decent way, it's kind of promoting the individual keepers channels, but then again,
Mhm.
like me personally, I don't really
don't
want
care.
to. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, you
not.
look at my channel. I got mostly pictures of snow in February. You know, look, it snowed in Texas. You know, Skep took a picture.
uh,
So
yeah,
how
I'm
can I
not.
tell which memes are not made by Assassin of the Gray?
Uh-oh.
Just assume
Like-
they all are.
Is this one of his?
No, definitely.
I guess unless it's one that I made, there's no way to know for sure.
That is kind of an on the nose meme. That really that's a pretty good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to cut off my penis.
Kate McKinnon probably would do it for you if you don't want to do it yourself. Except she's
Who?
dead. Kate McKinnon. Katie McKinnon.
Hold on.
She's a Chicago lass. Well, I mean, she came from New York originally, but
Wait.
spent some time in Chicago before she went there.
Isn't she the lady from that fantastic film Ghostbusters?
He's not talking
Yeah.
about the SNL woman, I don't think.
No, I'm talking about the early separatist feminist.
Oh,
And she was a professor of philosophy at, what was it, Vassar or something? I think that's what she was. You know, one of those Seven Sister type schools. And was considered to be quite the intellectual. And she wrote, I believe she wrote, it was either her or that cow she hung out with, wrote The Death of Men, the book The Death of Men, which I had to study when I was at Northwestern in a social psych class. I don't know. I still don't know to this day why I didn't. What was the name of that beast she hung with, the other separatist, who was even worse, and she was gigantic too.
Andrea Dworkin.
Andrea Dworkin. Thank you.
Well, I was just thinking about the most unattractive woman in all time, and yeah, she
out
is
there in the Hall of Fame,
And somehow she arrived.
She is bad. She is not an attractive woman.
There's just nothing good going on there.
And I'm gonna not put a picture of her up because I
please
care
don't.
that much.
You're gonna post a picture of that, aren't you?
No, I'm not. If you imagine somebody who's an incredibly unattractive woman, that suffices.
Well, I'm glad you gave us the option.
Yeah.
I don't like the ominous mouse clicking.
No, I'm going to show you what Catherine McKinnon looked like.
Don't.
Andrea Dworkin, and I think you'll be actually quite surprised.
Yeah. Appetite suppressant incoming.
It's only Tuesday.
Well, it's a good thing I've already eaten.
It's a good thing you've already reproduced.
There you
Because
go.
you might not want to after seeing this picture.
She looks kind of mad.
Cruella de Vil.
That was Catherine McKinnon.
Well, she's not terrible looking, but Dworkin is terrible looking.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, if I was going to show
It
you,
looks like she's
Andrea
gonna skin
Dworkin-
puppies.
Yeah, the hairdo. It is kind of a bold move to have a black mohawk stripe in a beehive.
That's Andrea Dworkin right there.
Oh.
I changed my mind. I think you need to. I thought you needed the contrast.
Quick,
There are
hide your
worse pictures
snacks.
of her than that.
Yeah, and that's a fair picture. That is not an unfair picture. That is what she looked like. It really is what she looked like.
Whoa! Oh, that is unfair. She
Yeah.
looks like she's on. She's trying to explain something.
Yeah.
Something very important.
And back when I was, when I was 18 years old, I wouldn't have hit that.
No.
Not even then. Nope.
Yeah, no. It's a hard no.
Exactly.
It's one of
It's
those
actually weirdly soft.
well, if you're, it's not even a no. If you were the last two people left on Earth, and you had to repopulate the planet, and it's just you and Andrea Dworkin, you just kind of just go, yeah, no.
Listen, have you got a test tube?
Hold on.
Can do this.
That is
Well,
essentially
you want your
Queen
kids to
Bee
look like
type
that? No.
type of posture. She's just like a large woman that just pumps out more hive people. I mean, it fits the bill. That's all I'm saying. It makes sense to me.
One of us. One
I-
of us.
When I was in school, those were the feminists. Those were the women.
Mm.
Those two and what's her name, the ex Playboy bunny. They she was just the head of Now. Why can't I think of her name? Because I'm getting old. That's why. Head of Now, Playboy bunny. Will come up, and it was not Pam Jacobs. It was head of I keep getting.
Found it yet?
No, it's really kind of hard to do because of all the cross-referencing and stuff. Let's see. Let's go through now. What was her name? I wish I could remember.
See, net.
Why can't I think of who this person is? She was on the cover of Newsweek, cover of Time. Title 6, Equal Rights Act, IVA. It was like in the 80s. I could remember what her name was. And she was directly opposed to Phyllis Schlafly. And has she been erased for some reason? I wonder if she has. List of presidents.
Oh,
Huh. I guess she was never head of Now or never president of Now. I thought she was a spokesperson for Now. Who was the former former Playboy bunny who became a feminist? Gloria Steinem. That's what I was trying to think of. Gloria Steinem.
She was a Playboy bunny? Was she
She
like
was
a
a Playboy
centerfold
bunny.
or just sort of an incidental background B-roll bunny?
I will show you her picture when she was a bunny. I've got it right here.
she was a bank robber.
No, she was not a bank robber that I know of, or if she was.
Oh.
That's the girl right there. And that's what she looked like in her later years. I don't know if she's still around.
Well, it says undercover Playboy bunny, meaning she probably worked at one of the Playboy clubs. That doesn't really.
Well,
well, I'm
yes,
looking
she
at
did work.
the title.
She was at one of the Playboy clubs. But let me help you here as somebody who's read the book.
Okay.
She said after she was fired from Playboy, from being a Playboy bunny, that she just did it to do research. People who knew her say that she did it because she was broke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, both things can be true. And I think that's probably what was going on. I think she needed a job and thought she could do something with that. And then when she got fired, there may be a rationalization there, or maybe she actually pre-planned it as research, but I doubt that, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like I didn't want those grapes anyway. Kind of a rationalization.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. She's utterly devoted to the, feminist narrative. As was Hugh Hefner. He would have been the first one to tell you.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they discussed feminism in the grotto all the time. With James Caan, just couldn't get the guy to leave.
Did you read the tell-all by the two
Nah.
sisters who were part of his harem?
Nah, I've never read a tell-all, so I can honestly say I'm sure that I haven't read it.
I didn't read much of it, but I read enough of it to just think, he thought he was creating heaven on earth for himself, but what he created was just kind of a little slice of hell where you get laid all the time.
Yeah, I'm a boat captain. Yeah, good job, Hef.
Yeah.
Nice hat. You and L. Ron Hubbard can compare boats. That's great.
you took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm a boat captain.
I'm a boat captain. Interesting times. So there you go. By the way, just full disclosure, guys, probably not going to go the full 2 hours tonight. Probably go about another 10 or 15 minutes. And got to call it a little bit of early night tonight. I've got the truth of it is my body is just sore. It's just freaking sore from working my ass off for the last couple of days. So sorry,
by me.
Sorry to be weak, but at any rate,
hey, man. Make sure you get
turning to politics just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it interesting to see the Democratic Party go up to Joe Biden and say, "Hey, we think you'd be, this is a great train that we're on, but we think you'd be more comfortable in the next car. Be careful when you go between the cars. We'll help you there so that you don't fall off the train, because we wouldn't want you to be thrown from the train.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to help you." Man, when AOC gets on there, when Sandy Cortez gets up there and says, well, we'll have to see what he's proposing. What? And the CNN host sits there and says, that's not a yes. She was asked, would you support Biden if he runs again? And she hems and haws and does everything but say yes. And she's kind of vaguely neutral on it, and let's just see what happens. He is toast. I think there is not one chance in hell he gets the nomination. If he tries to run, he'll get primaried.
Well, I think that's what I predicted a week ago on this show,
wrong.
and you thought I was wrong. So now you've come around to my way of seeing things.
I have. I'm just not as smart as you, Harry. Everyone knows this. Of course you're going to realize things before I do.
I don't know about that, but when I'm wrong, I'm spectacularly wrong. It's
That's the way to
it's
be.
it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Don't do, take life in big bites. Nibbling is for losers.
Mm-hmm. So
It's
do you like the
actually-
picture I have up now?
Oh,
It hasn't been modified, so I don't think Assassin of the Grey can take credit for this one. It's just a photo.
keep that.
Is that just perfect or what?
The dog didn't have a middle finger, so
That's my kind of dog right there. Contrarian
I know.
dog is
I
contrary.
want to take that dog home. Fuck you.
I thought you might enjoy that.
That just makes me happy. It just makes me so happy.
All right, you can have your show back now.
Well, I think basically that the far left is saying, no ancient senile white males beyond this point, but they're not too happy with Kamala Harris either.
Well, they're going to have to
Cambo.
convince Doctor Professor Jill Biden to leave too, and I think that's the thing. If they can convince her that it's in Joe's best interest, it'll go a lot more
Yeah.
smoothly.
Eventually, they will when they say if he runs, Donald Trump has a very good chance of winning today.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, have you noticed who is suddenly everywhere, very, very visible? It's Michelle Obama, who's never been president. We haven't had a black female president who's a lawyer. She could be the first black female president. She could run with Kamala Harris again as the vice president, because Kamala Harris would be eligible for another term as vice president. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
That would
And
be.
we got a deal
But
for you.
I'm-
You're so good at this vice president thing. We think you should. We think you should do it again. We
You
have
should
good
run
news.
a
We have
pod.
bad news. Good news is we want you for vice president for the next 4 years. Bad news is Joe won't be president anymore.
Yeah, no kidding.
That'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
And Michelle Obama has not had a distinguished law career. She practiced for 2 years after she finally passed the bar. Okay.
Mhm.
And then she parked that law license as soon as it was humanly possible to do. As soon as Barack had two nickels to rub together, she was out of the law business. That is not the sign of someone who is a naturally fine lawyer. Also, the other thing is naturally fine lawyers tend to graduate, like magna cum laude, summa cum laude, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
She just graduated and her records are sealed, just like Barack's. Now, she's, and that's not to say that she couldn't be a good president, but it doesn't argue well for it. I think she would be very much like Kamala Harris, just sort of, open the box and out comes, narrative, and no real ability to manage people, materials, processes, and resources that a president needs to do, much less actually have a plan for, have a domestic agenda that made any sense, having a foreign policy agenda that made any sense. It would be nothing but advisors coming up, offering her a menu of choices, and her being made presentable enough to go out and speak to those choices. But in terms of thinking, she would bring nothing to the party as far as I know. But I'm willing to listen to other points of view. Anybody a big Michelle Obama fan? The president?
No.
No.
I'd be surprised if she runs, to be honest. I mean, well, no, I wouldn't be surprised if she's on the ticket and she's pushed, but
what if Lori Lightfoot was her vice president?
whoa,
See, I think that's a
whoa.
winning combination right there.
Yeah, they
Michelle
definitely
Obama
win.
and Lori Lightfoot, and it really nails down the Chicago vote.
Well, they'll definitely get all. They'll hit all the boxes. Let's just say that. Ugh.
That was really bad.
Yeah, no.
I know. They're still going to hell.
Yeah.
Assassin, I love this comment. Skep Tock, not primary. Potato Joe will have another mysterious aneurysm.
There you
One
go.
that cashes him out. Let's hope not. I hope Joe Biden is there to be the delight of Jill Biden's every day for a long, long time. I can see how happy they are together.
You should get one of these, Skep.
I used to sell these. I used to sell the 4096. I shit you not. I used to sell them out of my pickup truck, Harry.
Yeah.
I mean, I would deliver them in my pickup truck, usually as part of the system when I was putting computers together. Man, that and put that in a 386 thing was bombing. 20 megahertz. Yeah, that's right.
That.
20 megahertz.
WordStar, that's all you need, man.
There was
Control
an episode.
K, Control B.
There's an episode of Law and Order where they call the 386 like high tech, and I'm like,
it was,
and it just shows the age of technology.
They actually fudged a way of doing kind of a 16-bit data slice in the 386, and it was the first time they had first time we were able to get 16 bits at a time, sort of.
Well, that was a 32-bit processor. I think you're thinking of an earlier one.
The 286. Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking of 286. 286
with protected memory. That's the good kind.
Yeah, well, with protected memory, but it did double seeks to memory, 2 8-bit seeks, and that's how it got 16 bits at a time. That's what it was. That's what I was thinking of. It was going from the aughts, the first processors, to the 286. The 286 was badass, and I remember puzzling over, should I pay the extra $800 to get a 386 instead of a 286? And I popped for the 386 motherboard, and I built my first 386 for me. But the computer that I did that I printed my thesis on for my master's degree was an 8-bit XZCPR, which is a form of CPM, which was an 8-bit operating system and an Okidata 82A. I know Harry knows what that is.
I'd pip it.
Matrix print. Huh?
I'd pip it.
Yeah, pip. Peripheral interface program, absolutely.
Pip, man. The wonder command. Everything's pip plus an option. But go on.
That's right.
Don't let me distract you.
Yeah. Well, it was. You know, that was actually my first real PC operating system was CPM, and then when I found out that I could format different disk drives and have them in the same cabinet and address them all simultaneously with XZCPR, that became my operating system. But yeah, man, COBOL 80, Fortran 80. This is good shit.
You know, the difference between the 386 though and the 286 is you actually can do real memory protection on the 386. So you can run Unix on a 386. You cannot run Unix or anything resembling Unix on a 286.
Well, CPM resembled Unix in some way.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it uses a keyboard.
Yeah,
All right, it's got a screen.
it does. It has those things.
The cabinet that contains the processor has a fan in it.
Mm-hmm.
It uses electricity. So many similarities, Harry. Of course, I realized that
It's hard
it's
to
also
argue.
that's similar to a hairdryer. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just having fun. The first computer course I ever took was Fortran 4. Harry, do you know what Fortran 4 is? This is even before your time. Fortran.
Well, lots of things are before my time, but I think Fortran 4. I mean, I was more when I first was exposed to Fortran. It was Fortran 90. So yeah,
Sure.
Fortran 4 is. I wasn't alive in 1904, so I don't know about
Right.
that.
No, Fortran 4 was formula translation. It was purely mathematical. It had no string handlers. There were
Strings
not
are for the
string
weak.
handlers.
Sorry.
We used to say stuff like that. COBOL is for weak people. And and then the next computer course I took was at Navy Supply Corps School, and it was COBOL with who, Grace Hopper.
She's okay.
She was a great, man. She would come out drinking with us after class at the officers club, and we would get drunk with her and play shuffleboard every night out after class. And she was just one of the boys. She was an awesome lady. Awesome lady. I just a saint of data processing, even if she was into yeah, there you go. Hardwired, baby.
That's how you debug.
No.
Is that ENIAC?
I'm not sure. I don't know the origin on this.
That's either
this one.
ENIAC or Mark One. It's colored like the Mark One. It's what I wonder where that is. I'll bet it's MIT. I'll bet that's the
pre-Apollo by a good margin.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, yes. Yep. And those things Grace Hopper invented the term computer bug. You know that, don't you?
Yep.
Let me tell you the story. She they were having some they were getting some numbers back when running some programs that they'd written. And these computers they were working on were banks and banks and banks of relays. And these are mechanical switches. These are mechanical switches that close, and they would close with a clack. So when they ran a program, you'd hear this clack, 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 clack going all through. And a moth had gotten into one of the relays and was preventing it from, when it tried to close, it couldn't close the circuit. And she extracted the moth and replaced the relay, taped the moth to a memo that she had typed up saying that she had found the bug in the program that she'd been trying to run, and sent it to her superior. And the term computer bug was born. And she handed out Xerox copies of that memorandum to everybody who took her course. And I've got a copy of that.
Nice.
Yep, it's pretty cool thing. It's very nerd-stalgic, but anyway.
Nerd-stalgia.
It's one of my favorite things.
Nice.
Here we are.
Let's see, do I have a Commodore picture? Somebody was saying Commodore. Oh, here we are. Commodore. Here's a Commodore.
That's what I'm talking. Oh, I love that keyboard. Didn't you like that keyboard?
No, I had an Atari ST. The Commodore
okay.
people had too much money for me.
On the
I was in
Commodore?
the cheap
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah, man. The Commodore keyboard, it had a satisfying feel to it. Those were you didn't just kind of tap those keys. You had to just go full force and plunge those babies down.
The Atari
The
ST
man's
had
keyboard.
weak ass keys. I actually bought a set of springs and put them underneath the keycaps to give it more of a
Push.
you know, VT52 kind of deal to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Harry's talking terminal talk.
Yeah.
For
You know,
those not-
I've been sort of assembling my own keyboards lately. It's a stupid hobby I've picked up. It's another thing to just waste money on.
Mhm.
I don't know
time, don't
why.
forget time.
Yeah, and time. So I mean, it's this thing where I'm taking apart switches and making sure, you know, you can pick everything from the way it looks to the way it feels to the way it sounds. So you can get different types of switches that feel different, sound different. You can swap the springs out for heavier springs if you want, but I'm using like fairly heavy springs in mine. And because I kind of like to feel like I'm doing something when I press a key. If it had weak, flaccid springs, you'd be pressing the wrong keys by accident all the time. But I need to stop buying these things because they're costing me too much money. I need a new water heater. I don't have time for stupid keyboards. Because these custom
Harry,
keyboards
what are
I've been
your
putting together
hobbies?
are way too expensive.
Yeah. Oh, I like that ivory one.
Oh, that one? Yeah.
Posted. Yeah. That's a good looking keyboard.
Yeah.
But as
Well,
go,
I'm actually making another one similar to that one, but I'm going to make it match the color scheme in my kitchen since I set up my desk just off my kitchen, so I figured it would color coordinate. So I'm going to go with kind of a green and copper sort of theme.
Yeah.
And that way it'll look good next to my kitchen floor. Because why not color coordinate your keyboard with your kitchen? Because isn't that what everybody does?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, anything
And-
worth doing is worth overdoing. That's my motto.
Absolutely. Oh, that is marvelous, Harry.
Yeah.
That just makes me happy.
But you said you needed to go do stuff because you're tired.
Oh, I'm forgive the yawn. I just, it's.
Here's my
it's
first
hard.
computer.
Oh, baby.
Yeah,
Is
TRS
that a
80.
Trash 80?
Trash 80.
Yep.
40 character wide screen, all uppercase. 16K of RAM, not 16 meg. 16K. 16K of RAM.
Yep.
That was how much RAM my first computer had.
Those machines were built to last, though. They were. I almost went to work at Tandy. I almost went to work as a Visual Basic programmer for Tandy. They offered me the job. I had 2 job offers. I had that and the Colonial Savings job offer, and I wanted to have the hardware aspect of learning optical libraries and how to program those. That's why I took the Colonial Savings job. I didn't know it would turn into what it was.
Do you think there'd be a market for taking? I mean, I don't want to just say just taking the outside casing of this unit, but at least building a modern computer using this aesthetic. Do you think there'd be a market for that? I don't know.
I don't know. It'd be a very niche market. There's a computer that was an Apple one that was designed when Steve Jobs went back to Apple, which was the G4 Cube. And that's a thing that's in museums of modern art. People like the G4 Cube quite a bit. So there is a not insignificant number of people who've taken the chassis from the G4 Cube and upgraded it to something that doesn't suck.
Well, I look at this and I equate it kind of like those odd classic cars where it's like, oh yeah, it's an older car, but it wasn't something that wasn't prevalent, or even I don't even know what else I could
even popular or widespread.
Yeah, well, one of those things where it's like, okay, it's a niche thing, and it was an old niche thing, that type of things. But I don't know. It looks nice though.
Sounds like you're talking about retro modding. I mean, because when you do it to cars, where you take an old car but put new bits inside it, they call that retro modding. So like you say,
Retro
I like
model.
disc brakes and anti-lock brakes and stuff. So you take like an
Oh,
old car and put a new engine and stuff in it, but it just looks like the old thing.
Yeah, it just has the old look of it, and that's why it's like I can say, I don't know so much for the monitor because I think current monitors are going with the curved type of thing, but yeah, I mean for the rest of it, yeah, I think it'd be fun to have one of those just sitting there on the corner, and you're like, oh yeah, you play some emulator games on it.
There's some good emulator sites on the web. You can play some old games. I occasionally find Commander Keen. Go play that. Play original Zork. The text version of Zork. Yes, it's out there. And it's free
Mm-hmm.
with what you pay for it. But anyway, I love me some Zork. I still remember the drunk guy that you have to get a little bit drunk so he'll tell you uh, what how to enter the mind. And I love the way that in the later version of Zork when they where they had sound, he you'd enter his area and he'd say, "Want some rye? Course you do." I mean, funny what amused me at the time. Anyway, but real men don't use menus. I want to know how to use power commands. I almost said PowerShell commands.
No, this is before PowerShell. Good times.
Good times. Well, guys, I'm running out. I'm running out of steam, so I think we're going to have to call it here. But I do want to thank you guys for coming out and joining me on this evening, and thank you, chat, for coming out and listening to us. We do this for you, and we have fun doing it, and friends hanging out with friends. That's what this is. But for tonight, Tuesday, as we stare into the stare into the past, the zoo is closed. Good night, everyone.